What's happening, everybody? It's the Leather Cowboy right here in the dirty at Premier Leathercraft Studios with another video for you guys. And what we're going to be talking about today is another fun small project that can make you a lot of money. If you don't have your niche right now or a particular leather product that you want to specialize in, let me give you one that can make you a lot of money. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this real quick. And I know you guys have seen them all over the internet. These little trucker hats. Now you can buy these. This is what they call the trucker style with the net. So you can find these. I would recommend, or I would suggest, that you go to a website called Temu, T-E-M-U, or you can go to another site called AliExpress. And then lastly, and I'm telling you these in the order because of the price point. So keep that in mind. Temu, cheapest. You can get a variety of colors, and let me show you guys one. Temu, cheapest. I mean, you can get these for as little as $1.15 a piece. These trucker hats, and you can get them in a lot of different colors. As you can see, I have black, red, and blue. Or you can go to AliExpress. AliExpress has these as well that you can get in a lot of different colors. You can probably pick them up for about $2. They actually have more color variety on AliExpress. So you go to aliexpress.com, A-L-I express.com. Temu is T-E-M-U.com. And then lastly, if you just want to keep it American and keep it in-house, you can go to Amazon. And you'll just type in trucker ball caps. And then now if you want to get fancy snancy and up the price on that, or increase your profitability, then you can go to your fitted hats and your cloth hats and different things like that. But find you a reputable, just don't always go for cheap. Because you can find some reputable cheap companies as well. But you want to go with somebody who can get you the product that's a good quality for the price that you're spending. And if you haven't visited Tandy, you only have one more day before that Black Friday sale is off. So if you have been caught up on shopping for leather products and leather supplies, you definitely wanted to hit Tandy between the 24th and the 28th of November. I think today might be the last day. No, tomorrow is the last day for Tandy. So it's the 24th, well, Cyber Monday. So you guys can probably get in and buy you some leather at a great price. Now, the ideal weight for these small projects is 3 or 4 ounce leather. Thick enough for you to carve into and stamp into, and easy enough for you to make your patterns. Now, the easiest way, I'm going to give you guys 2 ways to do these small projects. One, and if you look on my social media page or in the past videos, I can't remember when I made that actual other one. Any club or fraternity or sorority or organized group, these would be a definite shoe-in. So in the urban community, in the black community, black folks, fraternities, sororities, man, every fraternity and sorority has a color. So for your red and white ball caps, I'm already thinking that this is going to go to either the Deltas or the kappas. So KA-Psi, red and white till I die, or the deltas, the female sorority. Their colors are red and white. Delta Sigma Theta. You also can buy these in the black, and then you can do these for the alphas, the A5As. You can get them in the blue for the sigmas, and that's on both sides. And then I would only tell you to, at that point, or the green. You can get them in green and pink for your AKAs. You see what I'm going with this? And the greatest part is, every city, it doesn't matter where you live, ladies and gentlemen, every city, every state has a college or university that has fraternal orders and sororities on the campus. All the way, I mean, even if you're not familiar with the Qs, the Q dogs, the kappas, the alphas, or the deltas, or the sigmas, even if you're not familiar with those, you have Kappa Delta, Kappa Lambda, the Caucasian fraternities and sororities. You can't go wrong. Then I would tell you to go to Tandy and order the Greek stamps, which will make your life just awesome, because now you have a niche that's carved out for you, and you can just pound and make these hats all day long. You can pound these things out, and then you can do them you can do so many of these hats on just fraternities and sororities that you can go to those fraternities and sororities. Now I'm just going to drop this feather in your hat and give you some free game. Because probably where you are, you don't have access to the national council in your area or in your city or in your state. The national council might not be there, but that local chapter is there. And you can work that angle, not angle, I hate to say the word angle because it sounds like a con. You can work that sales pitch to that particular chapter, and you let the chapter sell the product for you on their website. Huh? See, now y'all picking up what I'm putting down. It doesn't have to be with the fraternal orders. Think Masons, aka Eastern Stars. Now, by right, they can't stamp, write, or carve anything related to the Masonic and the Eastern Star Order. They can't. But if you are not a Mason or an Eastern Star, then you can. See, it's not a violation for you, it's a violation against them, because that's in their rules. They can't stamp, write, carve anything related to the fraternal order of the Masons or the Eastern Stars, but you can as a leather crafter. And you can go to not just the Masons or the Eastern Stars. You can go to the Elks, the Elk Lodge, the Shriners. Now, all of these tools are available in the leather crafting world. So if you are mass producing, or if you're pumping out a lot, then all you would need to do is really get with that local order and run the sales pitch to them, and then have them post it onto their website or their page. And you structure the deal, what your rate is and what they can retail them for. Now, most crafters that I've talked to all over the South retail these custom leather hats at $40 to $50. And I just gave you the rundown on how much they will cost you. And what makes these small projects is because you're only going to leather cover the bill, and then you're only going to put some type of little leather insignia on the side. Now, in the editing, I'm going to upload one of the hats that I did for a motorcycle club, and then you will see how that works, which leads me to another pitch that you can put into are your motorcycle clubs. It doesn't matter what state, city, or you live in, or country nowadays. Motorcycle clubs are prominent and they are there. Well, now you do have two sides of the motorcycle club, so be aware of who you're talking to. You have your 1%ers, you have your outlaw MCs, which are not 1%ers, they're just outlaw clubs. Know what you're doing. Then you have the family side, your family clubs. Your family clubs are the ones like your Rough Riders, your number one stunners, most of your local clubs that's just running up and down the road wearing vests. You know, those are all family oriented clubs. These people got jobs and careers, but they just like to ride bikes. Then you have your outlaw clubs, a little different. Then you have your 1% clubs. Most of the times, oftentimes when you're talking to your outlaw and your 1% clubs, you really have to have some special privileges in order to do that, and special favors. So make sure definitely if you're talking to an outlaw motorcycle club or a 1% club that you have a relationship with those clubs before you just start putting people's colors and their club patches on your products, or you're going to have problems. So now most of your family clubs, you know, now you can probably make up one and present it to them and say, hey, look, this is what I do. Can we sit down at a negotiation table and work out something? I will make these for your club, and then we'll funnel these through the club, and you can sell them at that, and then every month we'll come and we'll pull inventory, and then we'll see what you owe me. But first, either way, if it's on the family side or the outlaw side, you want to build a relationship. Just don't go making people stuff, because that's a world of hurt that you don't want. Even if you're doing the fraternities and sororities, build the relationship first. Say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I would like to do for your club and for your fraternity and your sorority, and this is the price that I would like to work, because it works hand in hand. If you're wholesaling that product to them, everybody wants to make money in this game. And again, every leather crafter that I know of will sell these hats anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. You're all talking custom made. They can't get these hats anywhere else except for you in your area. All the way down to your high schools. Your pee-wee football teams. Your middle school teams. Your soccer teams. The band. It doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to carve out a space in this leather crafting world for yourself. This is one to do it. Now, let me get off into showing you guys how we can do this pattern very easy. One, you can sacrifice one. You can sacrifice one. Because you're buying them so cheap, you can sacrifice one, take you a utility knife, boop, or a razor, and just go into cutting it and chopping it up. And all you really need is the bill. This is the part that you need, the bill. This is this part right here. Because the leather piece is going to go onto this one, and then you're just going to put, like, if let's just say if I was doing one for a school, we're just going to choose Gaston City Titans, for instance. All right, and I'm going to get the school. I think their school colors are gray and red. So I can either get a red ball cap with gray, or I can get a gray ball cap and use it in red. So the leather bill is going to be the same, because you can dye red, you can paint red, you can dye gray, you can paint gray. But whatever the base color is, you can go with that. for the hat, and then do the leather. So the leather bill is going to get, the bill is going to be leather. And then if it's the school's logo, the Titans, or you can just do a simple square logo and put GCT for gas, or GCST, Gaston City Schools Titan, or Titans Gaston City School. Or if you're comfortable enough with your leather carving, you can carve in the logo. Now, carving a logo will take a lot of time, especially when you're trying to mass produce. So I would tell you then to get with you someone who can make you a die. And there's a great guy in the state of Alabama that's named Ray. Ray can make you a stamp out of polyurethane, and you can use that over and over again. And he's done several stamps for me. Let me just show you one real quick so you can know that it can be done. Or you can find these makers on Etsy. There are several people on Etsy. Now, this is a polyurethane block that Ray did for me. There you go. It has my logo on it. That's the cowboy hat with Premier Leathercrafters. And I've had this block for at least 6 years. And all you have to do is just set it on top of your leather. After you moisten your leather, it's just like a regular stamp. It's just like a regular stamp. And that stamps my logo into my leather work very easily. And I use that logo on everything. I was trying to find a piece that I had that I could do it on. But anyway, you want to do that. You can, especially if you're doing the city schools, the fraternities. You already have your Greek letters. Your Greek stamps, you can get those from Tandy. And if it's a different club, now you have to get into the carving part. But again, with those motorcycle clubs, you want to make sure that you have a great relationship to where they give you permission to use their patches. Now, how are we going to get this started? I'm going to show you guys 2 quick ways to make the pattern. One, take one, sacrifice it, cut that plastic bill out, this thing here, and then you can use that pattern over and over again. All you have to do is cut it out on a piece of cardboard, take the cardboard, and then you got that pattern forever. It's the same pattern, it doesn't change. 2, masking tape. If you don't want to sacrifice one because you want to make all of your money back, all you're going to do at that point, ladies and gentlemen, is to flatten that bill out as flat as you can. And flatten that bill out as flat as you can. And then you want to come back with some good old masking tape and a utility knife. Let me find my start. This will probably be the best way to do it because you don't have to sacrifice cutting a bill out because you can't put the bill back in. Once you let the genie out the bottle, ladies and gentlemen, you can't put him back in there. So, but I would say just take you some good old masking tape. Or you can use the blue, the painter's tape, whichever one turns you on. It really doesn't matter. You just really need a pattern. And again, this will probably be the best economical way to do this. So you're going to pull you off some strips. So let me angle this camera back now so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to come right to the edge of that and tape it. Boom. Tear that off. And then I'm going to cover this entire bill with this masking tape. And you want to make sure that it's flat as it could possibly be. So, because what we're going to do after this is lay this onto a piece of poster board. We're going to lay this onto a piece of poster board. Now, here we go with the turn. Now, you can do this several ways. You can get all technical and do it this way here. It really doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. because you got to find a way to get that bend. So you just want to make sure that it covers the complete ball cap. Now, what I'm going to do here for this little opening space right here, I'm going to take a piece. Let's tear that off right there. And I'm going to just let this shape get as best as I can and lay it all flat. I wanted to wrap around this hat because I wanted to take the contour that I wanted to hit. All right. Now, from this point, all you want to do here is take a pencil and trim around this bill with your pencil or pen. You want to just draw that all the way around, and then here you want to run it right along the crest of this bill. Now this is going to work out perfect because this is already, the pencil is cutting that shape for me. The pencil is cutting this shape for me. And then all we're going to do here is just pull that excess off, because I don't need this. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Mama did it, man, mama. And so, boom. And viola. Now, all you can do at this point is just take your knife and cut all the way around the bill. Very simple. Very simple, easy pattern, and you didn't have to sacrifice cutting one of the bills out. Now, if you got an old ball cap laying around the house, pretty much they're all the same standard size with a little small minor adjustment. Now, I can tell you about ordering from these companies, AliExpress or Temu, or even on Amazon. You can, it's like they got small heads overseas. But you have your base pattern already right there. So the only thing left to do at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is to peel this masking tape off. Remember that you went from front to back, so your underneath layers is going to, peeling it from front to back is going to be the way to go. Now, but before you do that, what I suggest is coming up, go ahead and mark off. We're going to come back to our measuring tape here, our square, and we want to come in about I'm going to say about not a full quarter, 1, 2, 3, we'll say 3/16 of an inch from the edge, and that's going to simulate your border. So 3/16 of an inch all the way around is going to be our border. So, or you can do an 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch would be perfect. And then I'm just going to lightly sketch on my masking tape an 1/8 of an inch. So we're just going to sketch this all the way, and that's going to be my border. Because now you can use, so an 1/8 of an inch. There we have it. And we're just gonna connect these lines. And if you're using masking tape, you can see the stitch right up under this that's originally in the build anyway. And you're just drawing a line right on top of that. So don't let my artwork think that I'm so perfect of an artist that I'm drawing. I can see that stitching line right up under that. Maybe you guys can see it. I don't know. But I just drew right on top of the stitching line that was in the original build anyway. Right there. 1/8 of an inch. Perfect example. So now I have my edge. I know where my seam is going to be. So now all I am doing now is just pulling this back. Just peeling that back. And I am going to lay it on top of a piece of poster board. Now, I don't recommend you going out buying a poster board just to put this on there. Do like every crafter does that I know. If you got an old cereal box laying around the house that you just got finished eating a box of cereal, hey, free posters or free pattern paper right there in the house. And we're just going to peel this back. Boop, boop, boop. Viola! I like saying that word now for some odd reason or another. Viola. And then all you're going to do here is, I'm just going to use some simple paper because I already have a pattern. And I'm going to just lay this pattern back out again. Make sure that it's flat. Boom. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your very own hat pattern. And all you would do at this point is to trim this out onto, cut it out of your poster paper or your cereal box. And now you have a pattern for those hats all the time. You do not have to alter or change anything. The only thing that you might have to do is you would have to trim a little bit of the outside edge. That's it. So once you attach this to the hat, you'll do your carving work. So you already have your imaginary border. So you'll know when you're doing your artwork, just remember, do not cut to your stitch line. This is your stitching line here. Don't cut that. You want to cut the outside part, and it gives you enough to trim. So once you're drawing this out onto your poster board, you're going to leave it just like this. All the way out. So now, and just remember, when you put this onto your hat, once you get it all carved and cut, you can come with some nice little design. You want to take your scratch owls and come in another 1/8 of an inch. This is going to be your tooling line. So you have your stitching line. Then you're going to come in another 1/8 of an inch. And then this is going to be your tooling line. So now you can come back in with this same border here. You're going to come right around here. Make sure you draw this out perfect. Boom. Stitching line. Come back around. See, so now I have my stitching line, then I have my border line to where I'm going to start doing my tooling work. And you can really get creative with this because the third line here is going to be your double border, because you want to do something crafty with this. You want to do something crafty with it. So I would cut a border line right there, another interior border line, and then I'll stop it like somewhere in the middle of the hat, in the middle of the bill, and then I would come up diagonal this way, and then that would sync right in with this one. So, and then I'll draw it back. Let me show you guys how we'll draw this out. Ooh, see, the ideas are coming to me already. The ideas are coming to me already. So I'm going to come here. Right? We're going to come here. And then let me get here real fast. Okay. So let's just say my bill is here. And here's a quick tip. Once you draw so much and you keep drawing, let me see if you guys can see that. I can't tell if you guys can see that or not. I'll show you, well, once we get it done. And I hate doing this part of the video. I might edit this part out. Okay, so we have our stitch line, which is 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the bill. This is what we're going to use to attach our leather piece to the bill. And your chisel punches are strong enough to pierce that plastic to where you can stitch. All right? So we're going to come back. This is going to be our bill here. Now, let me drop this into your hat too. You really don't need a stitching line up here as it meets the hat. You really just want to stitch from here around the bill, right? So, but you can, it's not necessary, you don't have to. So now, this is our stitch line. So inside of that stitch line, I'm going to cut me a border line here. This is going to be my first border. Stitch line, border line. Remember that. Stitch line, border line. We're going to connect that. Alright. Stitch line, border line. Now I'm going to come in with another interior border line. And I'm going to stop halfway in the middle of this bill. So I'm coming with another line. Ooh, I'm giving y'all some. Ooh, y'all gonna get this work today. Okay. All right. Now. So now my bottom border line, closest to the end of the bill, is going to stop here in the middle of the bill, and then I'm going to come with a diagonal line right there. Boom. Then I'm going to come and draw me another diagonal line here, and then finish out my interior bill line right there and connect that back to the bottom. So, and I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to show it to you. Just like so. So, I got my stitch line is first, then my first border line, then I have an interior border line. The interior border line from the bottom is going to stop in the middle of the bill, and there's going to be a diagonal line. Now the top line is the top interior border line is going to come all the way over. Then I'm going to draw another one here. Now what this does, it gives me a tooling side and a side for my letters. So if I'm doing a motorcycle club, I'm going to put let's go back to the fraternity. On this short side, I'm going to stamp in Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. I'm going to background that first. This is a side that's not getting any tooling work, just backgrounding, which I will use a matte finish backgrounder. And then I'm going to stamp KA Psi right on this side. And then this side over here is going to be a nice basket weave tooling. So now this is all tooling work, no carving, just tooling. So I'm going to tool a nice basket weave pattern, universal. You can't go wrong. Or if you really wanted to get jazzy, you can say University of Alabama, and then you can put since the Kappas in the now. Of University of Alabama colors are crimson and red, and the Kappas are red and white. But you can get away with just the red and white, because here you'll say University of Alabama and small stamp tools. Put the year that they're going to graduate or the year that they came offline. So it could be the class of 24 or the line of 24. University of Alabama, Kappa Alpha Psi, boom, red and white. Dye the whole entire thing red, put the letters in white. Done. 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 Now, the goal here is, now if you just want to hit that universal money, you will do still this part in red and white, the rest of it in brown, or the rest of it in the natural color of the hide. Just super sheen it, Resolene it, antique, Caruba oil, Caruba cream, whatever you want to do. Leave it all natural, or just do it all red. Because the fraternities colors are red and white all over the world. So you can do it all red and white, be done with it. Whether they're at Alabama, whether they're at Auburn, the best school in the country, or whether they're at Yale or Princeton, it's still all red and white. That's how we do this. Small projects that can make you a lot of money. I'm the Leather Cowboy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in. But now you already know how to create and make your pattern. All you have to do now is just go to carving and get to work. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.